When I cast on, I always take my yarn from the centre of the border wall because it stops the ball rolling around the floor, and then it just pulls the thread from the middle, and that's fine. What I also do, for what I call the end yarn, I always leave the border wall in front of me and the end yarn comes to the front of the work. The end yarn will be at the front here because that's what we're going to use over this side for the cast on. This side we will use to do the knit work. So leave yourself plenty of end yarn because you'll need it to sew up the side seams. You can just see the seam here. You will need some extra yarn to start sewing up the side seams, and I tend to crochet my side seams because it's all my seams because it's so much better, so much quicker. So making sure that I've got enough yarn to do my 90 stitches and some to sew up. This is how we'll begin. So I always put my yarn over the needle. I then just loop it around my thumb and I set my tension. We've all got different ways of doing it. This is mine. So what I do, I'll do that again. I go around like that. There you go. So it's around my index finger, over my middle finger, under my ring finger, and over my pinky. That's just my way. So with the yarn over the needle, thumb creating a loop. This is the first 2 stitches. Put the needle through the loop, knit. That's the first 2 stitches done. I always do a little tug just to tighten things up a little bit, but it's still loose. I need the needle to be able to go through it when I go back, when I start to knit. So thumb under the yarn to create a loop, put the needle through, knit the stitch, take the stitch over, gentle tug. Thumb to make a loop, needle through the loop, yarn over the needle, take the stitch over. And you do know that on YouTube you can slow the video down. Just look for the instructions on how to slow the video down. So as I said, we have to cast on, you can see that's quite neat, we have to cast on 90 stitches. So proceed in this way until you've got your 90. I will do my next video showing you how to work your first row. So just carry on, like I say, the gentle tug to keep it neat. Thumb under the yarn. You can see I've got a bit of tension going on here as well between my other 2 fingers. Put the needle through and it drawing up the yarn. I've opened up my fingers to release the tension here, to take the yarn around the needle, and then over it goes. Always the gentle tug, set it up again. Thumb under the yarn, got a bit of tension going on here. Put the needle through, grip it, grip the needle, yarn around the needle, take the stitch over. And I hope you can see that quite clearly. Of all the methods in knitting that I've ever used, this is by far the best. It is the neatest. When we go up the sweater, our cast on will need to be different because we're coming out for the sleeves. So that's a different method, which I'll show you when we get there. In the meantime, continue in this way until you have your 90 stitches. And like I said, my next video will be how to knit your first row.